Right then, hello everyone, and welcome to the MMS Le Mans Series Prototype Challenge. We are here for the first ever round of the Le Mans Series Prototype Challenge here for the 30 minutes of Adelaide, around the Adelaide street circuit. This is the LMS Support Series, the first time LMS will have its own junior series. Series consisting of 30-minute sprint races. Got the same point system as Le Mans Series, but with 1 point for every lap lead. And these cars, which feature the Orca FLM09, feature roughly the same amount of downforce, but a bit more horsepower than the LMP1 cars of LMS. Um, Brand new teams, brand new drivers, and brand new race venues. Or not brand new race venues, considering we're going to the same ones as LMS, but we have got 30 cars on the grid. And as we're here for the grid, let us go through the starting grid. So, on pole position for the 30 minutes of Adelaide, it is Henry J. Brown for Algarve Pro Racing, the same team that won here in LMS in the LMP2 class. They will take pole position as Brown lines up P1, and accompanying him is Formula One world champion in the number 25 Scuderia Aversa, Harry Herhold lines up, completing the front row in second place. Third place, it will be Ari Soilu for Cesetti Squadra Corse, and the second row in P4 is Gabriela Januszkova for Pardubice Motorsport Junior Team. Then in P5, it is Erik Landahl in the other Cesetti Squadra Corsa car, and then it's Alessio Silvestri in the Lamborghini Squadra Corsa Team Rebellion car. Behind him, then, it is Rikke Wernersen of Ecopol Intercompetition. Follow him is Ratko Betes in the Whisperworks Prototype Engineering, the number 333. David Morris Pearson will be P9 in the Prototype Technology Group Pearson. And rounding out the top 10, it will be making his debut, one of many debutants in this series. Fabian Wenger will be 10 for AMG Guatemala Motorsports in P10. P11 is Oliver Kaminski for Race Competitive 9, the number 14. Just behind him is his teammate Jack Cara in the number 10 Race Competitive 9, fielding the Ferrari engine. P13 will be taken by the other AMG Guatemala Motorsports car, Henry Henryson, will take 13th spot, and behind him it will be the American Marshall Bird in the number 31 Scuderia Aversa, one of many rookies in the series. Behind him is Matthias van der Velde in the number 111 Whisperworks, and behind him is Giannis Arilis for ING Grand Prix. Then it will be Kirian Jimenez for the Ozark outfit, as the all British lineup only manages a highest P17 in qualifying, but behind the first Ozark car, it will be Pedro Della Lamy in the final Whisperworks car, the number 777. And then behind him, it will be Stan Espinazola making his debut for Algarve Pro Racing, his teammate 18 positions up, obviously. Behind him is a fellow rookie, Mikael Olsen, will be 20th for Inter-Europol competition. And behind him, it is Mitch Johnson in the other ING Grand Prix. Then it is James Faulkner in the second Pardubice Motorsport. And in P23, it will be Hardin Gallagher in the second Ozark. Then it will be Eva Valjak, the final Pardubice Motorsport driver, in P24, followed by Lewis Bumpington, who will take P25, being the final Ozark car. Then it is former Formula E driver and podium sitter Freddie Jenkins, the American, will take 26th spot, and behind him it will be Christian Blanc, becoming the first monogasque driver in LMS or in MMS as a whole, I do believe, as he starts in P27 for Algarve Pro Racing. Then it's Edda Jonsdottir in 28th, making her debut in MMS as well, and behind the Icelandic driver, former F1 driver Kyle Wilhelm in 29th. Shimon Witt rounds out the top 30 for Inter-Europol competition, and then behind him it is Stefan de Jong, younger brother of Timon de Jong, in the second Lamborghini. Then we have Eddie Redmayne the third in the second prototype technology group Pearson car. And taking the final spot on the grid will be the number 24 race competitive 9 of Inigo Montoya from Spain. So, as the grid done and dusted, let's go down to the starting grid as the cars are now revving up. We're gonna get underway here for the first time in Le Mans LMS Prototype Challenge, as we are underway here at Adelaide, and it is quite a good start for Henry Brown, but I do believe Herholt does get the better run on the Portuguese driver heading into turn 1, and he's immediately in the lead of the race, as Brown is already under pressure from Soilu, who's got him past, and Janečkova now in 4th, as Herholt, the Formula 1 world champion, has amassed a very, very big lead already as we head through the first couple of corners. Silvestri there in 5th as well, on the back of Gabriela Janečkova in the Pardubice. As we now head into, as we're now just about heading into the chicane and down the Jones Straight, there's Cara and Van de Velde side by side, as we'll see what's going to happen in that battle then. But as we head through Brewery Corner and down into Brabham Straight, it is Herholt who does have at least a bit of a comfortable margin over the rest of the field at the moment. As we're looking at Erik Landahl, the IndyCar champion, currently in P6. There's Silvestri though down the inside line of Gabriela Janečkova, and the Lamborghini car does get past the Pardubice, and it will be Silvestri into P4. Janečkova might lose out another position to Erik Landahl though in the Cesetti, but it is going to be Janečkova who does hold herself ahead of the Dane at the moment for P5. As we witness them round Foster's corner. That is lap 1, done and dusted. This Henderson in the AMG Guatemala car, I think, was fighting Jack Cara there for position. As we're looking through the field, there is Wilhelm. Wilhelm has damage. And what has happened to the Brits? The man in the number 6 Ecopol Inter competition car, picking up some damage. This has to happen. For the back, actually goes to the inside line of Edda Jonsdottir and just clips the back of the Aversa. So unfortunately, that is on him. And Kirian Jimenez, Wilhelm's fellow compatriot, oh dear, and he just seems to have completely misjudged it, heading out of the center chicane and just binned it into the wall. Luckily, he was able to nurse that back into the pit lane, and that's the one in the wall, and that's Henry J. Brown. That's the pole, and he is into the barriers at Flinders Street, I do believe that it is. So let's see what's happened here. And just misjudging of the braking points for Henry J. Brown, it looks like, straight into the tire barrier, and that's going to be the first DNF of the 30 minutes of Adelaide here at LMSPC. Big shame for the man who started on pole. But the action will continue as Harry Herholt, his gap over Ari Soilu in second has diminished. Soilu looking very, very good on the pace as well. Obviously, he's got the same power plant in the back of his car as both running the very, very powerful Vanguard engine. So they will have the big advantage over the straights compared to the rest, and it really goes to show at the moment, considering third place Silvestri is quite a long way back on Soilu and Herholt. Looking at the man in P5, Erik Landahl, who's holding off Ratko Betes in the Whisper Works. Bettis, also running the Vanguard engine, as Whisper had been labeled a bit infamous for running one engine for all three of their cars. As there's Jimenez coming out of the pit lane, Espinazola's been held up, and Van der Velde's going to go for it. And it's created a bit of a domino effect, but Jimenez, I think, might have moved over there to when he was coming out of the pit lane. And that's someone with damage. I think that might be one of the Algarve cars. Oh, there, it's Evan Jonsdottir, and that was, I think, Christian Blanc got damage. Yeah, you can see there. And yeah, Wilhelm had to slow down, brake very early, I do believe. And yeah, Wilhelm came out, and Blanc just, I guess the speed differential was a bit too much for the young Monegasque. And yeah, he went into the back of Wilhelm, which resulted in Jonsdottir going back of Blanc. Zarilis is into the pit lane as well. The has damage to his front splitter. Isn't it the Kettleville hairpin? He's just hit the back of Espinazola, so not really much to say there. Either way, though, we go back to the race lead as Herholt is still fending off Ari Soilu for the race lead. So looking at the battle for the podium position, Silvestri, Janichkova, Landahl and Bettis, all representing different teams, battling for P3 spot, and Janichkova is going to go for it into the hairpin. She's going to be on the inside line of Alessio Silvestri. Let's see if this is going to work for the Czech driver, and it does, and that will bring Pardubice Motorsport into P3. So nice going from Gabriela Janichkova, but we'll see if Silvestri will be able to get back that position in the later stage of the race. And oh dear, oh my goodness, big crash into the hairpin. What has happened? And I do believe that was Eddie Redmayne involved, and someone has completely misjudged their braking zone. That was Mitch Johnson piling straight into the back of Matthias van der Velde. Now Pedro Della Lamy, good thing he moved over, and that just caused an absolute, my goodness. And there's nothing Espinazola could do there, as Johnson sent him completely just careening into everyone who was going through the chicane. And there is Jonsdottir, who collides with Redmayne, and one of the cars flips over. But yeah, very, very big accident, and I have to say, quite shameful from Johnson, as Jonsdottir is in the wall, and that's the other Aversa with damage as well. So while one is in the race lead, it's not going so well for the other two, as everyone piles into the pit lane to get their repairs. Espinazola and I believe also Stefan de Jong in there as well. So a big shame, but a lot of the guys behind will have gained a bunch of positions. Fabian Wenger running in 8th. So we're looking at Ratko Bettis. Still in this battle for P3. It stretches all the way back to Wenger in 3rd. So it is very, very tight there in the upper midfield. But here in the front, it's quite lonely, as Herholt has rebuilt his gap to Ari Soilu in 2nd. As another yellow flag is out. Who may that be? That's Oliver Kaminski. And the Pole's engine has gone up in smoke. So that is the number 14 race competitive 9 car. And the engine just goes for him. Parks it nice and tidy, so yeah, that's at least good to see. But shame for Kaminski, who will be out, obviously. I think that's a battle for P10 there between Jimenez and Della Lamy. Jack Cara fending off James Faulkner, as Faulkner is going to go to the inside line to the hairpin. Let's see if the former Formula 1 driver can do it. Yes, he can. And Zarilis is going to get past as well. There's a bit of contact through the chicane. I'm not sure who it was. I think it might have been, well, I'm not sure, but Eva Valjak does have damage as a result of it. And Marshall Bird is out. So the American, the number 31 Scuderia Aversa, has gone over the barriers. Big accident, it looks like. We'll see what has happened for Marshall. And I do think Oh, and that's a failure. And the barrier just pitches the car over the wall. Scary accident, but hopefully should be alright. There's Eddie Vedman in third, just finishing his stop, coming out of the pit lane. Mikael Olsen chasing down one of the race competitive 9 cars. That is Jack Cara. As Christian Blom comes out of the pit lane. Oh, bit of a hairy moment though, as there's one driver coming out of the pit lane and was going a bit slow as a result. That is a bit dangerous. But yeah, verdict from race control. Mitch Johnson has been disqualified from the 30 minutes of Adelaide. So yeah, ING Grand Prix already with a DSQ on their debut. That's not going to look good, especially on Johnson's CV. As we're on board with, I do think that was Gabriela Januszkova. We're looking at Alessio Silvestri though, who's going to get himself up into third and ahead of Kyle Wilhelm. No, sorry, Wilhelm was lapped, so he was already in third. My apologies. But the battle for P3 doesn't seem to be on anymore, as Januszkova and Silvestri have pulled away by quite a bit, so Landahl is just left to his own devices, fighting off Ratko Betes, and trust me, Betes is not really the easiest man to fight off of, especially considering his recent results in EFO. On board with Freddie Jenkins, I do believe this is, in the Eco-Pro. Oh, that is Rikke Wernersen. Actually, sorry. But Wernersen run the only driver to run the Ford engine in LMS-PC. Obviously, drivers had the, or team owners had the option. Oh, there, that's someone in the wall. That's Erik Landahl. And Landahl has put it in the barriers. The IndyCar champion, who was running P5, is gonna get it rolling again. But that is a big shame. I think that's is that a driver error from Landahl? Let's see what happened. And yeah, I think he misjudged the braking zone and had a bit of overcorrected it too much and just a tank slapper into the barrier. Big shame for Erik Landahl, but yeah, I guess he's still getting used to the machinery, considering he's only driven in IndyCar prior to this season. As we're looking at Fabian Wenger now running in 7th. He's got David Morris Pearson, Henry Henryson, and Kieran Jimenez for company there behind. Let's see what he's going to be able to do, as Wilhelm, or sorry, Januszkova, my bad, will be promoted up into 4th, and there's a bit more drama here, as that is Betes, and he's got into the wall as a result of this, and a pretty major accident through turn 1, as yet another pit lane exit incident happens again. It's Christian Blom coming out of the pit lane, and Van der Velde was hit up the back, and then Betes was hit by Wernersen, who tried to jostle her way past the Serbian. So yeah, a lot of accidents then through there. I think drivers need to be a bit more careful heading out of the pit lane. But that's gonna give Van der Velde, Betes, and I do believe Wernersen with damage, so it's gonna be a shame for them. As we're on board with Gabriela Januszkova chasing down Alessio Silvestri. So these two still battling for P3 in this race. There is about 20 minutes to go on the clock. 10 minutes have passed in this race, as Januszkova is now in the slipstream, and she's going to go to the inside line of Silvestri, heading into the Kettevel hairpin. Januszkova gets it easily done, and she will be up into third once again. So nicely done then from the number 112 Pardubice Motorsport junior team driver. Silvestri will have to settle 4th. Wernersen with damage. Big shame, as she was doing fantastically. Oh, bit of contact between Wernersen and Van der Velde once again into the pit lane. It's a bit naughty, but I think judging by the lack of downforce. Oh, and that is Shimon Witt, who has parked in the middle of the track. And that's probably the worst place you want to have an engine failure. And look at that, James Faulkner was stuck behind the pole. Number 34 in the Europol competition car. And the engine just goes mid-corner. Nothing he can do there. But yeah, he didn't pull over the. Could have pulled over the car there, but you can see that Faulkner was held for a massive amount of time, and luckily, in all this chaos, no one was able to go into the back of him. But you can see the Harry Herholt just passes him, but he's gonna have to slow down massively, and that's not gonna be good news for Harry. Ari Soiler's gonna get past as well. Driver is trying to take caution, but yeah, there we go, and he's back into the pits. Bit of a poor parking job for Shimon, but it's racing, I guess. Sometimes things don't really go your way. As we are looking at the battle of P4, Janek Chikova has actually been able to pull away from Alessio Silvestri. So Silvestri in the number fighting off the drivers behind as we head into the hairpin. Looking to the field then, that's Harding Gallagher for Ozark, and he is out. And I think that's a gearbox failure, not before hitting the rear of Ricky Wernersen, but Gallagher is out as well. It's yet another mechanical failure in this race. Man in P18, Mikael Olsen, man from Norway, number 43. Behind him is James Faulkner and then Montoya. The race competitive 9 as Olsen and Faulkner will battle into the hairpin. Faulkner on the inside line. Montoya had a look, but Olsen does not go down 2 positions. He only goes down 1 as James Faulkner does get past Olsen now. Lewis Bumpington with a 999. Ozark chasing down Montoya through the final corner. Nothing happening there. Betts in the pit lane for repairs. There's Landahl and Baljak battling with each other. Again, Landahl was able to get past Eva Valjak there, so that is 1 position regained for the Dane who had an error. Still good to see that he's still running in the points. Impressively done. It's Pedro Della Lamy now on the back of the number 155 Pardubice Motorsport. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do anything there. Behind is Eddie Redmayne as well. There is Alessio Silvestri. He's now got Jack Cara for company there behind. And Giannis Arilis. All in that battle for P4. Although I do believe some of them are lapped actually. It's Fabian Wenger now running in P5. You see Ratko Bettis coming out of the pit lane. Let's Jimenez go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you properly do a pit exit. Cars obviously, the Orica FLM 09, about 1 second off of the LMP1 cars they are around here, if I am not mistaken, but these cars are roughly on par with LMP1, as I did mention previously. They have roughly the same downforce as the prototypes, but they actually do have more horsepower than those cars. So I wouldn't say diss these cars because it's a junior series. They are pretty fast. And this track as well, very, very narrow walls, very easy to make mistakes. As we saw Erik Landahl, and now Ricky Wernersen has made an error. what happened to Vanessa, and she just misjudged it. And a slam into the tire barrier for Rikke Vanessa. And I think that was just proves my point that, especially with how quick these cars are, it is easy to make mistakes around here because the walls are much more narrower than you think. There's Mikael Olsen to the inside line of James Faulkner. Doesn't work for the Norwegian though, and Faulkner will stay ahead of Olsen. Heading through the final couple of corners, Faulkner trying to get past Redmayne as Olsen is into the pit lane. Into turn 1, let's see if James can try anything. Here he goes on Eddie Redmayne as the two go side by side, and on the outside it is going to be James Faulkner who gets it done. Very nice move from the Brit and the former F1 driver as he goes up into the top 10. I got Pedro Della Lamy there up ahead. So we'll see what he's going to be able to do. He's probably going to have a very good shot of trying it into the hairpin. Lamy just marginally better on corner exit there. The chicane, the same chicane where we saw Erik Landal spin off. Now, this is the Jones Straight, so not quite the back straight. So he's gonna have a look on the inside line to Brewery Corner though. The two will go side by side. Or, well, this is the main straight, into the hairpin. Faulkner runs wide though. Is that going to allow Della Lamy to get the switch back? And he does. Very, very nice battle between the two. And Della Lamy does actually defend his position. Very well done from Pedro Della Lamy. A quick analysis of the situation from the Spaniard. Was definitely not caught napping there. And he defended beautifully. So Faulkner, who is now a bit further away from the Spaniard, will have to recuperate and try his luck again in either this or the next lap. There is a yellow flag. Who is that? That is Eva Valjak. And Valjak, oh, and that is contact between Della Lamy and Valjak. And I think that's left the Croatian with damage. Let's see what's happened here. This is onboard with Della Lamy, so Valjak had gone off. And that tipped the Croatian onto two wheels. Della Lamy received damage as a result as well. But I would say that is the fault of Valjak. And the stewards do agree with me. It's 15 seconds for Eva Valjak for an unsafe read. Let's see. And it is exactly how Henry J. Brown did it. Massive oversight and straight on into the tire barrier. At a very high speed as well, but she was lucky that she was able to continue. It'd be big damage to the car. And then the rejoin, which saw Della Lamy's car get damaged as well. Pedro not going to be too happy about that, I'm sure. As this is going to be good news for the guys behind, especially James Faulkner, who we were talking about. As the midfield has been very, very close today, but top three has remained very, very quiet as Harry Herholt is currently lapping a few cars. He's going to go on to Stefan de Jong. Down the inside, is de Jong going to budge? Yes, he should. And he does. Herholt, at the moment, having not too many issues with the traffic. As into the final corner. There's Montoya, followed by Jonsdottir and Redmayne. Lamy and Valjak are both in the pit lane for repairs. Herholt is going to get past Inigo Montoya. Soilu is just going to have to hope at the moment that Harry does get held up by the slower cars that he is lapping, so he's able to catch up a bit. But at the moment he doesn't have an issue, and that is Fabian Wenger, the man who was slowly climbing up the order this race. has damage, and I think he might have jumped over the curb. No, he lost it into turn 1. I think he carried too much speed and then re-entering. A bit of a clumsy re-entry, but it could have been worse for Fabian Wenger. Either way, that is quite the shame for MMS first ever Swiss driver. As we're on board with Harry Herholt, lapping teammate Edda Jonsdottir. He's being held up quite a bit though. You can see Ari Soilu. It's actually somewhat working for him. As let's see if Herholt's gonna go to the inside line. Bit of contact between the two teammates. That was quite scary. As Soilu's gonna try to get past Montoya here, and then he's only gonna be one car away from getting to Harry Herholt, and there he is actually, and he has caught up majorly. Jonsdottir is not doing her teammate a favor here at all, as Herholt must be absolutely feeling the pressure from Ari Soilu. His massive lead has been cut down in an instant due to this, and drama already being spun here in the first round of LMSBC between teammates. As we're gonna head down the start-finish straight then into turn number 1. Herholt unable to get past Edda Jonsdottir, who herself is trying to get past James Faulkner. And this is absolutely massive then. Ari Soilu is gonna be ready to strike as we have 10 minutes to go now in the 30 minutes of Adelaide. Soilu is gonna be absolutely on it to find the opportunity to get past Herholt for the race lead. It is now Scuderia Aversa versus Cesetti Squadra Corse, as Soilu has a look on the inside line. Is he gonna find the opportunity to go for it as they're side by side? Soilu had a look on the outside line but couldn't complete the move, and there in the background is Stefan de Jong, and de Jong might try and throw a spanner in the works for Ari Soilu, quite possibly if he does get the run on the Finn. Obviously he shouldn't do that, but he still does have the right to unlap himself. So we'll see what's going to happen here, as Soilu isn't particularly close to Herholt. Jonsdottir is going to go into Faulkner. Herholt's going to slot in behind, and I think he's actually done the right move, as Edda runs very, very wide and almost into the ball, and that is going to allow Herholt to run a bit wide as well. Does get past. Let's see what happened here. So Jonsdottir sent it up the inside line, and Herholt followed his teammate past, and Jonsdottir went very wide, and Herholt was following his teammate, did a bit of the same. Actually, I think, yeah, on the onboard, he actually pushed his teammate wide. And that slowed him down a bit, and it sent himself wide, because here comes Ari Soilu on the outside. He's going to try to take the lead away, but Herholt is going to keep it. And Ratko Betes is out. That's the Whisper Works. And the several-time Formula 1 race winner, Ratko Betes, who is out. Now, this must have been a while ago since we've been all focused on the race lead here. And there it is. That is into the Kettevet hairpin, and Kirian Jimenez looks to be involved in it. So Jimenez side by side with Espinazola. Oh, what is he doing? And I think that is probably one of the worst overtaking attempts I've ever seen in my life. Kieran Jimenez, who tried to go into Stan Espinazola, even made sure to turn into Betes and take him with him into the hairpin, and as a result, it put Betes out. Absolutely shameful move from the Brit, and a 30-second time penalty has immediately been awarded for the Brits. But we're gonna go back to the race lead then. Herholt only has Faulkner to clear, and then it'll be smooth sailing for the last 8 minutes for Harry, but it shouldn't be. I don't think it'll be as easy for him, as especially considering how he had to deal with his teammate Jonsdottir. I'm sure Edda won't be too happy about Harry, and vice versa, I'd say. And Jimenez, who still is in the wall, is just about able to get himself out of there. And he actually went off again. I thought he was still in the wall, but Jimenez somehow managed to go off at the same corner at the same speed. And there's massive damage to that Ozark car as we're just about heading through Brewery Corner and down the Brabham Straight. Into the Ketteville hairpin. Herholt still not able to get past. Faulkner, Soilu not being able to close down that gap on Harry Herholt. I think he maybe wasted the opportunity when Herholt went wide to try and make something of it, but he just couldn't do it on the outside line there. Big shame, but we'll see if he's going to be able to pull anything out in the 7 minutes. At the moment, though, it is looking quite comfortable for Herholt. But as the age-old saying in MMS goes, it's never over until it is over. Yes, indeed, as we have Inigo Montoya running in 9th, doing very well considering he started outside of the top 15. As here goes Pedro de la Lamy on to Henry Henryson down the inside line into the hairpin. Let's see if he's going to be able to get it done. He does get it done. Nice, clean and simple move from Pedro de la Lamy, and I have to say, his racecraft has been looking quite good today. Albeit he is outside the top 10, I have to say, Pedro has been doing quite a good job. As we're looking at Gabriela Januszkova, just about. As there's Stefan de Jong, who's going to unlap himself on Ari Soilu. And that is going to throw a massive spanner in the works for the Finn, as De Jong has unlapped himself, and now Soilu has lost he's lost massive amounts of time. And look at this, De Jong is actually pulling away from Soilu. Incredible. So I don't know what's happened with Soilu's pace, but it just doesn't seem to be there for the Finn. And that's really not what he needs, especially considering he's fighting for the race. Only a few laps ago. And Soilu will just have to hope that Christian Blanc behind doesn't overtake him, and that is Jack Cara, who's gone into the wall. It's one of the race competitive 9 cars. Another one of them wiped out. And I believe this is a driver error. And I think the car must have failed or something, because that looks very, very... especially looking at his steering. So I think it must have been some sort of mechanical failure for the other race competitive 9 car. There's a bit of bodywork flying. Now that's De Jong, that's Stefan de Jong. And he's been hit by Christian Blanc. And that sent him into the wall. So what happened here? So the man who overtook Ari Soilu, way too much speed, cuts the chicane, loses control of the car. He's so lucky not to hit Ari Soilu, but Blanc does hit him, and luckily Blanc doesn't get any damage. And then De Jong just spins it into the wall. However, he is able to continue. So, yeah, bit of a silly mistake from De Jong. But it is good news for Ari Soilu, who now won't have too much traffic ahead or behind him. So he will be free to push, but the question is, in these 5 minutes, if he's going to be able to get past, or at least even catch up to Harry Herholt. As we have your favorite duo battling for the podium. It's Gabriela Januszkova featuring Alessio Silvestri. Both of them have been battling for the podium this entire race, and they've been going back and forth ever since lap 1, which is great to see. Obviously, it really goes to show how close the LMSPC field can be as we head through the Ketteville hairpin. Silvestri not being able to do anything just yet on Januszkova, so we might have to wait for the next lap to find the opportunity. or maybe just force Gabriella into an error. We're gonna see them as we're on board with Silvestri. Beautiful engine sound as we head down the start-finish straight and into the center chicane. And these cars, I have to say, are looking on rails. I mean, they're so fast. Through Wakefield Corner and through East Terrace and onto Flinders Street. Then into another 90-degree corner down onto Hot Street and then through the chicane. Silvestri looking a bit faster there, and that is Lewis Bumpington in the Ozark, and Ari Soilu with damage. Now what has happened here? And Bumpington went off on his own, so I think Soilu must have judged it. And I think that's Bumpington out. Where is Ari Soilu? There he is. And what happened to Soilu? Oh, it's a failure for Ari Soilu. That's a brake failure for Ari Soilu into the most high-speed section on the track down the straight. Just before the braking zone, the car just goes on him. That is really scary for Ari Soilu, and a massive shame for the Finn, as he is out from second. And that's going to promote Alessio Silvestri onto the podium, and Gabriele Januszkowa to second, but a big shame, as Cesetti Squadra Corse will come home empty-handed here at Adelaide, as Soilu's brakes have gone. Massive shame, and I'm sure Ari must be feeling very frustrated as well. But the battle for now P2 still ongoing, as Silvestri chasing down Januszkowa through the final corner. Gonna have a good run into turn 1, but Januszkowa gets the better exit from Foster's corner into the Senna chicane. It's closing in. I have to say these cars around Adelaide is it is really interesting. So fast, walls are so narrow, there's so little room for error. It is really impressive to see these guys battle it out at this rate, as we're on board with Januszkowa. Just above the rear wing you can see the Lamborghini Squadra Corsa of Alessio Silvestri, as we now head down. I believe this is Flinders Street. No, this is the Brown Straight, sorry. And Silvestri is going to have a really good shot here, trying it. He's going to go to the inside line of Januszkowa now, as they're going to head into the Kettevel hairpin. Silvestri on the inside line, and he gets it done. And through up at the second goes Alessio Silvestri. Great stuff from the Italian. Januszkowa will go down to third with over a minute remaining. That's going to be very, very interesting. I don't think we're going to get another lap, as we're just starting lap 21 and a minute remaining on the clock, as there's Henryson getting past Eddie Redmayne the third, as the two go side by side. Henryson having a look on the outside line as Herholt is trying to lap these guys. Herholt to the inside of Henryson, no issue there. Might get a bit hairy into the hairpin though, but if I were Harry in this situation, I'd probably just take it easy. He's gonna go for it though. He's gonna go on to Redmayne. Bit of bumper car stay. He's gone wide, and that's Redmayne into the wall. Herholt's gonna continue. That's gonna be controversial, as Herholt puts Redmayne in the wall. So we'll see what the stewards will have to say about that. And yeah, it's a 30-second time penalty for Harry Herholt. So he's gonna cross the line in P1, but what's gonna be the gap to second, as it's Silvestri in third It is 24.1 to Janechkova, but she's being held up. She's being held up massively here, and this might just play into the hands. We're gonna see then if it is gonna be the win for Janechkova, or if it's gonna be no. She's gonna come into the pits. It's gonna be, I think, Alessio Silvestri. As we're gonna see who's gonna get it, and it is gonna be. I think he gets it. I'll need confirmation on that, but and Silvestri is second, so Harry Herholt wins the 30 minutes of Adelaide. But obviously not official. We're still gonna see gap. It's 26, according to the timing screen on the top. $25. So I do think Silvestri gets the win. Yeah, Alessio Silvestri will take the win here at Adelaide. So late drama. Herholt will get second. Erik Landahl, a brilliant recovery. He will be third. David Morris Pearson will be fourth. Gabriela Janechkova, unfortunately, will be fifth. It's gonna be Faulkner in P6, followed by Wenger in 7th. Espinazola in 8th, with Delalami in P9, and then Henry Henryson 10th. And I do think that should be it. And yeah, I think that is it for the Le Mans Series Prototype Challenge. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. But before we will go, it is time to award Driver of the Day, and personally, I would like to give it to Erik Landahl because I think he did a fantastic performance. Was all the way outside the top 10 after his spin, and especially when you fall outside the podium, it's absolutely gutting for you when you do something like that happens to you. But he soldiered on and went on to get back on the podium. So fantastic stuff from Erik Landahl to secure third. He gets my driver of the day. But yeah, that has been it for the first round of the MMS Le Mans Series Prototype Challenge. Thank you so much for watching. It has been a very, very interesting 30 minutes of action and drama. But Alessio Silvestri will come home as the first ever winner of LMSPC. Either way, next round of LMSPC should be Donington, if I am not mistaken. Seaworld will have to correct me on that, but it should be Donington. Yes. So the double header at Donington. Make sure to notice that. Le Mans Series will be on there as well, obviously, as the main event. But yeah, until then, I have been your commentator, Miran. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to be safe on the roads and wear your seatbelt. Thank you, and goodbye.